Hi everybody, Heidi Helm here from Psyche Revival. I've come up with a name for this new venture that I'm embarking on. So Psyche Revival is what I'm calling it, because really I'm hoping to inspire people and help them reconnect with their core essence and revive their psyche and their spirit so that they no longer are feeling contracted and withdrawn from the world. Or afraid, and they are out there being expansive and creative and shining their light. So that is my goal here, and I'm driving, so this is a bit of an experiment. I hope that the noise from the engine doesn't interfere too badly with the audio, because I'm just using the phone to get my message out. So today I wanted to talk about perfectionism. Perfectionism is something that I struggled with for a very long time, and I would like to say I'm in recovery right now. I'm a recovering perfectionist, and I'm trying to make imperfect progress in my life, because if you wait for things to be perfect all the time, you're never going to get anything done. And we wait for the ideal conditions to do something. We don't want to make a mistake. We don't want to be viewed as inadequate. And so perfectionism can really hold us back from attaining our goals and from realizing our dreams. And so it's really important that we, get a little bit intimate with this issue. And in my experience, it took a lot of inner work for me to understand, for me to recognize how perfectionism was showing up in my life, and to try to figure out, where is this coming from? Why am I sabotaging myself all of the time? Why am I procrastinating on things that I say that I want to do? Why am I in my own way? Because perfectionism is really that. You're standing in the way of making progress because you are so afraid to be imperfect. You want everything to be wonderful. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with healthy striving. Healthy striving for creating quality work, for doing good in the world, for putting incredible things out there. That is a noble pursuit. I think that we should all be striving for excellence. But excellence doesn't mean that you start off perfectly. You don't just get born and start walking and designing skyscrapers. You get born, and it takes a lot of nurturing and work for you to learn language, understand how to operate this body that we are all of a sudden finding ourselves inhabiting. And you think about how long a baby takes to be able to start, using words and language and figuring out this machine that we're in. And I mean, it's so complex, and it takes time, and it takes effort. If that baby never took its first step, it would never learn to walk. If it never fell down, it would never keep would never learn to walk. So you think of a baby learning to walk, and they are just not showing any fear. You know what? They fall down and they get back up, and that keep trying. And we have to do that in everything in our lives. But at some point, the tragedy, I suppose you could say, is along our growth, we start buying into these ideas that diminish our ability to get back up again, and diminish our ability to put on a brave face and keep trying. They diminish our ability to make mistakes and be okay with that. So somehow perfectionism is connected to not feeling okay in the world. And in order to understand why that's happening, again, I keep going back to this idea of personal archaeology. We have to uncover those beliefs that we have somehow integrated on our path that made us believe that we weren't enough, that made us believe that it's not okay to make mistakes. Somewhere, somehow, the idea got planted into our little brains that we have to be the best of the best all the time. Otherwise, there's no point to life. And that really robs us of our potential. That robs us of our willingness to move forward imperfectly. And we all deserve to feel better than that. We all deserve to know that it's okay to not be awesome. It's okay to suck at stuff, because that's what learning and growing is all about. I don't know if you are familiar with Carol Dweck's work, but she is an incredible author, and I can't say that I understand or remember 100% what her field of study is. It's probably in the realm of psychology, psychiatry, mental well-being, and she talks about a growth mindset versus, oh my gosh, I can't even remember what her opposite mindset is. A fixed mindset, that's it. So a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. And a fixed mindset is kind of tied to perfectionism. Like, what I know right now is all I'm ever gonna know. No, that's not right. Let's talk about the growth mindset instead, and that might help you understand what I'm saying here a little bit better. Is that, yeah, the growth mindset is an attitude where, you know what, there's always something to improve. There's always going to be something to improve. So what's the point of waiting for me to be, you can't be perfect right now. You just can't. It's impossible. There's no such thing as perfection. So but knowing this on a cognitive level and feeling okay to be imperfect are two different things. And getting to the point where you feel okay with being imperfect takes a considerable amount of work, of inner work, this deep inner work where we have to go and we have to understand our story, we have to understand how these ideas got planted into our brains, and we have to, investigate our biography, tune into the false beliefs that we created along the way, and rewrite those stories, and, kick to the curb all of those ideas that you are buying into that are making you feel like you're somehow not enough just the way that you are. And so, like I said, knowing this cognitively is the easy part. Doing the inner work is the hard part. And so my goal is to show you how it's done. It's not an overnight process. It takes time and effort and attention and intention and focused energy, but it is an incredibly exhilarating and humbling and magical, beautiful journey when you start to reconnect to that beauty and that wonder that you were born with. When you were born, you were just like this blank slate, and there was so much magic open to you, but unfortunately, we are shaped by our environments, and sometimes the circumstances aren't always ideal. They don't always support us in a way that helps us to maintain this feeling of openness, because when we're young, we're so dependent on our caregivers and construction guy waving at me, and our caregivers and people in our lives, and things that happen that nobody meant to hurt us, but still somehow, due to our own misunderstandings and misperceptions, we still internalized pain, and we still bought into false ideas, and those are holding us back now. So tell me how perfection shows up in your life. Are you brave enough to drive around and make a completely imperfect video and put it online unedited, full of mistakes, and just be real? Just be honest. This is who I am. I don't have any makeup on right now. I'm still wearing my pajamas. I'm driving around in a noisy car, and I just want to share my message with people, and connect to those people who need to hear these things, And hey, my phone rang when I was driving and I had to take the call, so that's why the video camera just ended abruptly. Just wanted to say that I want to connect with anybody who's struggling with perfectionism. You know, we can work together to try to address these issues. If that is interesting for you, you can get in touch with me. I'm not sure how yet because I haven't set anything up that way, so let me get back to you on that one. Look for contact information in the comments here. So yeah, that's Heidi signing off imperfectly. You know what? Just be you. You're just great the way you are.